I just really wanted to work the New Day podcast thing because I'm on to episode 2 now, and I think I'm going to listen to this one solid because they talk how it is, even though the producers are over there kind of eyeballing them, or so they say.
I think it's better than the Edge and Christian one by far. But we'll see what happens in the long term. As long as the thing is
you would expect Edge and Christian
to
be far enough removed from the company not to suck the company's dick, but they still did. Whereas, this is better. This is good, and I'm hoping WWE don't put the can on them anytime soon. They're good. Good listen. Go listen to our competition.
For real, do it. I mean, there's room for everybody. Pacey, I'm kind of in the boat with you on this one from your last pick. Not that I didn't know who was in it, but like I said, I had originally thought it was for the mask ? And I thought he was going to be unmasked here. I'm still holding out hope that he's unmasked here. I don't think he's supposed to remain masked, and I haven't found anywhere online who this guy is, and I've done some research, and it's really bothering me.
That's the question mark, Fat Man.
That's the question mark. So I'm going with Trevor Murdoch in hopes that he unmasks him.
It's CM Punk, homie.
That is definitely not CM Punk unless he's really let himself go. That's Colt Cabana letting himself go. I mean, wow.
Somewhere in the back of my mind, I figured he had to be a big boy. I've never seen him. I don't know anything about him.
He's a big boy. He's the one that had that really shitty empty arena match.
Well, if you're going to have the name Mark and have it be smarky like that, you got to be a fat guy, right?
Oh, of course. Then next we have a Freebird Rules tag match, Pasty. We see Allison Kay and Ashley Vox taking on Melina's team, which could either be Melina and Thunder Rosa, or Melina and Marty Bell, or Thunder Rosa and Marty Bell. Any of that combination. We don't know who it's going to be. I'm going with here, I think that they're pushing, obviously Melina came back and they're pushing her as a big name. Pasty, I have never been a fan of Melina's from the WWE days forward. I think she was much more face and body than any actual substance.
Yeah, I was gonna say she was pretty hot and another teenage wet dream of mine for a minute. Yeah. But
I think I've mentioned on this podcast many, many times how much I love Thunder Rosa and Marty Bell. So I think that's great having a big name who is a gorgeous face. Not that Marty and Thunder Rosa aren't gorgeous. They are. They're just beautiful women. But the fact that everybody knows Melina from WWE, it's good to have her fame kind of shine down on these two women who are huge in the indie world. But if you're not indie folks, you don't know them. And I think they're going to push that, so I'm going with Melina's team, whichever three they may be.
Yeah, I noticed that there's an A double here, though, so I got to go with that. That's what I tend to do.
And Allison Kay, they're really pushing also, so
yeah,
I think that is awesome. And Ashley Vox is good, but Allison Kay I can definitely get behind. And she has her issues with Thunder Rosa and Marty Bell, of course. So this should be fun. This should be a good match, a good tag match, a good women's match, whichever way you want to put it.
Yep. It's always good seeing the Freebird rules being exercised.
Then we have the NWA National Championship. Colt Cabana, Pacey. We haven't talked about him for a while.
No, it's been 45 minutes.
He's taking on Aaron Stevens and Ricky Starks defending his title. Where are you on this one?
Oh, man. I think Cabana, since he's going to NWA full-time, could retain. I think that's like a solid thing. But once again, I picked this before I knew that. And I got to go with Damian Sandow, my friend. Aaron Rex. I mean, Steve Aarons.
Yeah.
Yeah, because who's Ricky Starks?
Who is Ricky Starks? Could it be Bob Brady, Mephisto, the 1987 Denver Broncos? Sorry.
I love that reference came up there. No, that's perfect.
Yeah, the people who get it will get it. The people who don't, fuck you. I'm I'm going with you. I'm going Aaron Stevens. They're pushing this guy. This guy, to me, this is his last shot with me. Because he's always almost there everywhere he is.
Yeah.
In WWE, he was almost there. In Impact, he was almost there. If he can't make it here, I'm going to say it's on him. It's not on the company.
Right. No, and I think there's a reason he came back, you know? If you were in wrestling for that long and didn't really get anywhere, I think you'd only come back if there was a solid deal on the table.
Yep. Yeah, that's true. I want him to show me that he's worth it, because in WWE we always said they just didn't use him correctly. You know, they just didn't use him correctly.
But he pulled off everything they did. Like
that's true. And in Impact,
Damien Mizdow was the best thing
on TV at that time.
Great.
Yeah, at that time that was the best. And in Impact, he was just considered a WWE cast-off, and they tried to do what they could with him, but the fans never took to him. And that was probably because of the WWE shade. But now he's got a clean sweep here. He can do everything over again. If he doesn't make it here, I'm sorry, Aaron. It's on you. It's not on the companies. You're just not made to be the guy. Now, he could be a mid guy. Maybe he's just destined to be a great mid-carder, and those people exist. The Miz is an awesome mid-carder, and I never want to see him in the main event.
Well,
I know
this is
you
a
want to see
mid-card
another world championship, but
so
yeah, exactly.
So give it to him and celebrate his middleness.
That's where I'm going with it.
Don't worry, Aaron. I'll still support you even if you don't win this one. I love you so much. Get out of here, Ricky Starks.
Well, there's another team that you love, and I'm pretty sure I know what your pick is going to be, and that's the NWA
If Ricky Starks wins this, I'll eat my hat.
Okay. Nobody asked you to, you know that, right? Like, nobody was arguing that Ricky Starks is going to win. You just want to eat your hat. Pasty just bought himself a brand new steak hat, and he wants to eat it.
No, they canceled Son of Zorn 2 weeks after I bought that hat.
That hat, that's right.
There's really no reason for me to wear it at all anymore. I think I'm the only person
Nobody
who
knows that show. Yeah, you and I know it, and that's it. It's such a great show. But yeah, it didn't last long. 6 episodes was not enough. NWA Tag Team Championship match, Pasty. We got the Rock and Roll Express versus the Wild Cards.
Who are the Wild Cards?
The Wild Cards are the two big giant. They're the AOP of NWA.
Okay, is question mark in the Wild Cards?
Well, that's a question mark right there.
That could be him without the mask.
It very well could be. We don't know. Yeah, Rock and Roll Express.
Who are the Rock and Roll Express? No, I'm kidding.
They're two really old dudes who still put on a better tag match than a lot of tag team wrestlers in this world. Yes, let's say that.
Oh, they just did some fun-ass shit on AEW not that long ago. That
yes, they
Destroyer
did.
Was amazing.
That assisted Canadian Destroyer
Heavily
was so
assisted
awesome.
By 4 men.
I loved it. I know it. I thought that was so awesome. It's like, oh my gosh. That was so fun and cute. It's like when you have your grandpa out there and you kind of toss the near football to him and you're like, yeah, grandpa. You know, it's like,
you did it.
I'm going Wild Cards. I think the Rock and Roll Express, I hope the Rock and Roll Express was a gimmick win to get their name out there and to promote the Rock and Roll Express, who, by the way, still kicking ass. We've seen them in Impact, AEW, and NWA. Wow, they're still kicking ass and they're still awesome, and they will go down as one of the greatest tag teams of all time, easily top 10 if not top 5.
I'd say probably top 3.
But they definitely shouldn't be holding titles for a long time in 2020. That's not to say they shouldn't have them at all. I was happy to see them win them, and I won't be pissed if they keep them into 2020. But I don't want to see a 9-month reign.
No. This should just be a quick turnaround, if anything.
Yep.
Yeah. So who are you picking?
I'm picking the Wild Cards.
All right. And I got to go with the Rock and Roll Express because they've been on a hot streak lately.
They are hot shit. That brings us to the main event. I cannot wait for this the 6-match pay-per-view.
Yes.
Can I say that, which one is it? Is it the, I think it's the Impact? One of the pay-per-views coming up is supposed to be like a 4-hour pay-per-view again, and I'm like, I do not want to see that.
If anybody can pull it off, it's Impact, I think.
I know,
They've
but
got
I
the
just
talent
don't.
roster.
I went 30 minutes earlier on the show talking about how I don't have time to watch wrestling. Just cut me a fucking
Hey, LAX,
break.
the previous LAX are back on Impact.
The OGs, yes, they are. Hernandez and Homicide.
Yep, that's exciting.
So we've got a 2 out of 3 falls match for the NWA World Championship. This is going to be awesome. We have Nick Aldis, who is the current champion, taking on James Storm, the Cowboy.
Oh, man, this is going to be fun.
It's going to be fun.
Nick Aldis has had this championship for so long, and I'm not counting the time that Cody Rhodes took it off of him for a week.
Yeah, that week doesn't really count.
It was good for
much.
Cody, but it doesn't affect Nick Aldis's record at all. It is what it is.
I would agree. That was a marketing thing. That was basically a commercial for NWA. Let's be honest.
Yeah. And I mean, NWA they're known for long title reigns in the history of NWA and all that. They could keep Nick Aldis going forever, but I think James Storm would be a good champion for this company. He's got that old school appeal. Not saying Nick Aldis doesn't, but I like the gritty cowboy James Storm.
Well, they're both kind of NWA type wrestlers. They're not flashy by no means. They've got good in-ring work. They've got above average promo. Not amazing promo, but not decent. Above average.
And somehow they're like the best formula for a top guy in this kind of throwback company.
Yeah, and James Storm, I will never get over the pathetic world title reign he had in Impact Wrestling, where he won it.
Was that when Storm and Rude first split?
Yeah, I can't remember who he won it from, but Storm won it from, I don't remember who he won it from, but then like a week later, Robert Roode beat him by hitting him over the head with a beer bottle, and
I was actually watching Impact at that time. I remember that.
Yeah, so for whatever reason, Storm won it. I was super happy. He only had it a week. Robert Roode got it. I was not happy about that because I was a bigger James Storm fan than Robert Roode, although as soon as Robert Roode got that title, he proved to me he deserved it, and I've been a huge Bobby Roode, Robert Roode fan ever since, especially when him and Austin Aries got together as the Dirty Heels.
Yes.
I just loved the Dirty Heels. That being said, James Storm deserves a title. I want him to win a title, but I think Nick
Aldis is such a sure guy, you know?
Yeah, I think he goes into this year as champion, and I think he loses it this year. I don't see him holding it for a whole year, but
I think they could go. They could probably go another year, seeing as they're getting new views for NWA as a whole with the launch of the show.
They could.
So to draw it out longer would make sense for new fans, but
I'm going
James
Nick Aldis.
Storm, man. Let him run this fucking cowboy organization. I love it.
I love it as well. And then, Pacey, in case it comes down to it, we almost had one earlier in the show, tiebreaker.
Yes.
We have a Freebird Rules tag match. I figured that's the easiest tiebreaker to bust out. Which two women are going to represent Team Melina?
Well,
now, there could be three possible... Wait a second, Pacey. There could be three possible choices, and since it's a tiebreaker, it has to be definite, so I'm going with who gets the most... Like, if it's... I know who you picked, and I know who I picked. If it's one of yours and another person who isn't mine, it's whoever gets the most. How's that? Does that make sense?
Yes, 100%.
If it's not both of them, it's whoever has the other one. I guess I don't know how to word that correctly, but your brain's palsy is slipping over here.
Man, I gave you a cold.
We're just going to go with it and assume there won't